Here's the worst story from Canberra this week. Maurice Newman was chairman of the Stock Exchange and the ABC, straight as a die. He's now head of the Prime Minister's Business Advisory Group and says he was talking the other day to a prominent Labor frontbencher. And he said to this Labor guy, "You know the country's finances are a mess, so why are you trying to stop everything the Abbott government does to fix it?" The Labor man's answer? Tony Abbott played things very hard in opposition and Labor is just giving it back to him. Is that where we are now? Politicians playing gotcha games with our future? Now that's too easy, and for both sides. You want to attack the Prime Minister for breaking a promise if he raises taxes in Tuesday's budget? Piece of cake. Here is what he promised.
What you'll get under us are tax cuts without new taxes. The only party that will raise taxes after the election is the Labor Party.
Or do you want instead to attack Labor for leaving us with debts up to here with its own broken promises? Again, too easy. Remember this nonsense?
This budget delivers a surplus this coming year on time, as promised.
So, Labor left us with a mess and the Liberals might break a promise trying to clean it up. But how does that blaming help us now? We've got a big budget deficit already and at least another decade of deficits to come. Every year of deficit means our national debt keeps growing and so does the interest we pay, already $12 billion a year. Our top economic officials have warned us for months to fix this.
There are things that we want to do, good things that we want to do as a society, things that we voted for, that are not fully funded by the taxes we'll be paying.
Something needs to be done. The only real argument is what? For instance, I certainly don't think the government should hit us with a deficit tax or an increase in the petrol levy, which seems planned in the budget. Our taxes aren't too low. Our spending is too high. The government used to say the same before the election.
Then after the election, we will continually look at ways to ensure that people get a fairer deal through lower taxes and less government spending.
But now the government plans not just spending cuts, but tax rises. And even many Liberal MPs are unhappy.
We didn't go to the election with a debt levy, and I believe it's a breach of promise. It will stop people from spending, and I think all it will do will devastate the economy.
Next Tuesday we'll have lots of other debates about particularly the budget cuts. Too tough, too soft, that's healthy. But what's sick are the politicians pretending there's actually nothing to fix. Those politicians betray their first duty to protect Australians from harm because they'd rather prove Abbott a liar or get cheap votes from people who'd love to hear they shouldn't lose a handout.
This government is creating a false budget emergency.
There is no budget emergency. That is the first big lie of the Abbott government.
This debt crisis is totally manufactured.
Here's the worst of those deniers. Former Treasurer Wayne Swan, whose big spending budgets actually got us into this mess.
The fact is they inherited a budget in sound shape.
Absolute tripe. Argue all you like about the best way to deal with a massive deficit Swan and Labor left us, but arguing that there's nothing we need to fix, that's dangerous. That risks our future.